Hello everyone, Linus from StruSoft here. Uh, it's time for a webinar, so we'll give it just a few minutes more so that people have a chance to attend. And in the meantime, I see that my colleague Thomas is here. Correct, that you see and hear me correctly, and that the screen is properly shared. So if you don't say anything there, Thomas, I will assume that everything is correct. Yes.
But I just say that also, so you know.
Perfect. Thank you, Thomas. So let's start. Again, welcome to this webinar. My name is Linus, and today we're gonna take a look at the columns and beams in Revit. And the picture that we have here in this first slide is actually the building that we are gonna create. So a couple of months ago, my colleague Pascal made this similar webinar in Impact for AutoCAD. So I borrowed his building so that we can get a good comparison between the different applications. Yes, so the agenda today is we're gonna start with modeling some columns, and then we're going through the beams, and then we're gonna dig a little bit deeper into the reinforcement. We're gonna create an SIB, and in the end we're gonna do some shop drawings and some other nice features. And when we are done, we will have a Q&A. So as you can see in the webinar software, you have already the opportunity to write questions. And as I mentioned, my colleague Thomas Gitsas is here in the webinar as well, so he will answer any questions that will be written during the webinar. And in the end, we'll take some. If there are some good questions, we'll bring them up for everyone to hear the question and answer. So let's start. I have prepared the Revit project here. So this is the Impact Project Manager. I've done some floors with some elevations that would suit, and I've also created the grid lines. And here we are in Revit. So this is the first floor. I have some reference so that I know what to draw and where. And I think it's probably a good idea to start. So as you know, or maybe not know, we are working with a combination of Revit families and database information for basically everything when we work with Impact for Revit. So I'll just quickly show you how it could look like. So this is the database information for the rectangular column. The geometry is very simple, and out of that we have generated our family. And we have decided what type of chamfers we will have, what lifters and so on, and when and where they are going to be used, depending on both mass but also the size of the element, and how to name both the element, the shop drawing, but also some product naming so that we can filter later on, mostly in the production software. So let's start drawing. I will do like this so that you might be able to see something in 3D as well when I draw. So I will start drawing my columns, and I will select a rectangular, and I'll do the 50 by 50 first. We have two different sizes, so mostly 50 by 50, but then we have 50 by 40 here. So these ones are the main ones, so they are going to be created for the whole structure basically. So I need to do some settings. I want them to start on the level 1 and then go and stop on level 3. So I'll zoom in here. When I draw the first all the elements basically, they will directly appear in the 3D. So now it doesn't really say much, but this is a very good feature that Revit enable us to use when we have let's say when we draw the beams later on, we can just double check everything when we draw the actual elements. So we start with those columns here, and hopefully, and in this case we got it. So we got the lifters on the side as well as the lifting tube in the top here. We'll continue drawing the smaller columns, and these ones are gonna support like the floor basically that we're gonna have on this side. So we are going to draw them from level 1 to level 2 and not all the way up to the top. So they're gonna be a little bit smaller like this. So that's great. The next step I want to do is to go and we're gonna go from floor to floor here. So the next step is to draw some beams, and we are not gonna take a look at the definition because the definition is basically the column but laying horizontal instead. So we're just gonna start drawing it, and this is the one that I want to use. So I will start from here. Sorry, now I was a little bit quick. I want to use another section, not the rectangular. I want to use the ledged, like this. So let's start like this, and you see now it's very good because now when I have a ledged beam, I just can double check when I have the 3D that the shelf is coming on the right side, which it does this time. So that's great. I don't need to redo it. So I'll just draw here. It's going to be 4 of these beams on level 2. And yeah, that's it. It looks pretty good. And we'll end with the level 3 here. And here we're going to focus on the beams in between here. So these ones going to be the rectangular ones that I selected first. And no new things here. We just need to draw the elements. So now you'll also see the whole model when the elements are placed. And so we'll soon be done with the first side here. I'll take that one later on. Sometimes the snapping is a little bit tricky, but that's because I have most of the snapping tools available, or not available, but enabled. So we're soon done here with the beams, and then we're gonna take some break from modeling the elements and do some more details. So last 2 ones are here. Oh, from here to here. Great. So now I have everything that I need, and we can take a look at the 3D model I have my beams and my columns. One thing that I don't have is support. So you see here that these ones are flying. That's not really good. So what I will do is just automatically insert corbels. So I select the whole structure here and select one corbel that I want to use. And I say, okay. And what happens is that we will get the corbel on each connection here. And yeah, you can see that these ones look pretty good. Although I want them to be the width of the column, but they support the beam, because that one is a little bit yeah, less wide or narrow. But here we see that the beam is a lot more wide than the corbel. And yeah, we need to fix this. So it's pretty easy. We just select one of them and then right click and select the whole, yeah, all corbels in the whole model. Then in the properties here, on my left side, I have a parameter called full width, which will just adjust to the width of the host. So yeah, now I only have two different sizes here, but if I would have more different sizes, I can, yeah, it will adjust to the corbel which the column which the corbel is inserted to. So that's great. One more thing that we can do is you can see here now when we inserted the corbel, we get the cost material to connect the beam and the corbel. So we need to prepare that for the beams as well. So I will select. Oh, sorry, that's wrong. I will select all these rectangular beams because I did some measurements before. So I don't need to measure. I know how the connection is going to be. So what I do is go here and I go to edit beam. And here in the first page, we see all the information about the beams, and you can also switch, yeah, both cross section and also different sizes. But we're not going to do anything here, but we are going to end here. So here the first option is to make the end angles. So if that's something that you want to do, you can do like recesses through the whole width, or like the part of a width or so on. Or what we are going to do, the fixing. So I want to do circular fixing, and I want to just one, so it should be symmetric. And the A here is the diameter, so it's going to be 30 millimeters. And L1 is the distance, so 60 would be great there, I think. And then I just copy with the arrow. And yeah, that's it for these beams. I also have the option to modify the section, so maybe I have half the beam of one section and half with the ledge or something. Then I can add it by modifying here. But I'm pretty happy with the shapes, so I'll say okay. And yeah, this will change the mass of the elements, so I'll just update them. So we're inserting this to all of them, and you see here now that the column or the beams are having these holes. They're a little bit bigger, but yeah, that's totally fine for me. I could do the same here for these beams, but we have seen how it works. So the next step I want to do is reinforcing a little bit. So I will switch view, and what we can see here is that when I zoom in, I already have some reinforcement for the some custom materials, and in this case it's only for the lifters because that's the only ones I have decided to show this for. But yeah, this is something that you can fix for all the custom materials. So it's pretty easy. You would just go into the definitions. Oh, I can show a little bit here. So you go to the definitions, or basically you basically draw this in the model, and then you go to the definition and edit, and then you have a tab up here with reinforcements. So you create one or more options for each element type. So here I can have like, yeah, this is a beam, so I can have 10 different options how to reinforce this custom material when it's in a beam, and then you use it with yeah, either you get it automatically with drawing the beam, or when you are drawing or editing custom materials, you have this list of reinforcements. But this is not enough. We need to have more reinforcement into the elements. So as you might know, we don't have a what's it called, reinforcement module for Revit as we have for Impact for AutoCAD. But we are instead using the reinforcement from Revit itself. And then on top of that, we have functionalities. So this means that all the times you're going to reinforce the first time, basically, if I say it like that, you need to use the Revit reinforcement or some plugin that is not Impact. So I have actually prepared here so that we are a little bit efficient. So I will use this copy move so that I get my prepared column a little bit closer to my building. And yeah, so this is how it looks like. So let's pretend that this is the first column, and I've reinforced it as I would like to. You can see here that in this template, I have decided to switch colors of reinforcement depending on shapes. So it's different colors depending on the shape, basically. But yeah, so the easiest way when you have reinforcement in that you reinforce one element, basically, is just to use Revit tools for copying, basically. So like this. So this propagate rebar is very good. So I will take the reinforcement I have. I'll just double check so that I have. Okay, I have double amount here for some reason. I forgot to modify that before. Sorry for this, but it will be fixed in just a minute. Yes, so we'll do it again, just selecting the rebars. And yeah, this functionality is very good because now I can just take all my columns like this and apply the same sets of rebars for all of these. So yeah, and it's adjusting to the different sizes. But still, this is not an impact tool, so I'll just delete this original element. But let's say that you have created your standard, or that you had a project that you worked on yesterday or last week that you already prepared reinforcements, and you want to use it here as well. Then you can use the rebar tools that we have on top of the rebar functionality in Revit, which is called apply rebar templates. So this works for all element types. So you can see here that we have for the different element types that we are working with. So I'll just start with selecting my rectangular beam. So these rebar templates needs to be for the same cross section. The length and the size can be differing, but the cross section needs to be the same. So okay, I got something else selected as well. I will do it this way instead. I will select my RC here. Sorry, it was a beam. I was a little bit quick. Beam, RB, and just click it like this. I will select it beforehand for the other beams here, so you can see both ways. So basically what happens is exactly the same as for the columns, but instead of having the reinforced element in the model, we're getting it from the database. So yeah, why not reinforcing everything that we have here now? So I'll do it like this, and now it works better. So I take the ledge, and I will just keep my. Okay, so here we can see that I accidentally got, when I created the template, I accidentally got the lift reinforcement as well. So that's why I got double amount here, which is not correct, but that's how it is. So now the elements are reinforced, and we only have the corbels left. And can we reinforce them this way as well? Yes, we can. So I select the corbels and select my reinforcement for it. And yeah, it's quite a lot of reinforcement to add. It's for 36 corbels, so we need to let it work for a minute. Not a minute, but hopefully just a few more seconds. So it should appear very, very soon. Here they are. So we can see here that we have some additional reinforcement. So it's pretty easy to do the reinforcement. I won't go into details about how to reinforce, because that's not really an impact thing, but more important how to add it to the elements, because that's the impact part. But it's quite easy to reinforce while you just when you just learn how to do it. So yeah, now it's reinforced, and we have connections for the corbels and the rectangular beams at least. So the next part I was planning to show you is to add the SIBs, so the sloped I shapes on the top, and we are gonna use some pre-stressed beams here so that we can see the strands as well. So I'll start to draw beam and then switch to pre-stressed. Select my section type, and here it is. So I will do it a little bit differently here because now I will just draw one of them. So something like that, looking like this, pretty okay. I get the strands and some lifters. Maybe I would like to have more lifters, but it probably depends on my settings. I probably was giving it too much capacity for the option with 2 lifters. But yeah, I want these on the whole building. So instead of drawing as I did for the other beams, I want to show you how to use another tool to do it. So we start the same copy move that we did for the moving the the column with reinforcement. But in this time, I will just switch from move to copy, and I will do it with pick points. And I'll just take the grid lines, the starting point, and then do several end points. So D, like this, and when I'm done, I will go back and say okay. And here will also work for a little while, and it will give us the elements. So this is also a way when you have identical elements and you know that they are going to be identical, then you can just create one. You can also work on it a little bit and then copy so that you get everything at the same time. So yeah, I don't remember, but I think that Pascal made some floors here, so let's do that as well. So this is just a bonus because it's not really columns and beams, but I just want to add some holocores. So I just have this small holocore, so but we'll get it to work. So put it here and there. And yeah, and here I just took the pick points option, which means that I pick all the corners of the holocore so that we are getting into suit. And the reason why I did it is because of this area here. I could of course do it in other ways to yeah, basically draw a rectangle and then add some recesses, but I chose this option now. And yeah, looks pretty good. I don't want to move or anything, so I say okay. And we're getting the holocores. Oh, like this. But we can see that they are like flying a little bit. So I just want to move them away to the proper placement. So I'll just create a section to do some measurements. So from, okay, we can see that some rebars are misplaced, but that's not the whole world. So 440 millimeters, I select my elements and I need to filter out only the structural framing. And put some offset like this. So now we are having a structure that looks pretty good. And yeah, of course I can do some manual things. I can draw extra cast materials. So let's add like a fastening plate somewhere. Don't have reinforcement for this, but we'll just add the cast material. So let's add it like here for some reason. You can also add the recesses, of course. So let's add some circular one, cutting through the whole element. So do one here and one there. Can do it for the corbel as well. So it's like, you know, this is normal stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the building now. So I'll just select all the elements and start with saving the columns. So yeah, looks like this, 1 to 8 in different amounts or sums. So we'll save them. And yeah, do the same with the beams. And then the holocores, then we are done. Oh, that's the wrong command. And I just remember one thing that I forgot to show you. So I will save the beams and then the holocores, and then I will show that for the columns as well. It's one thing that I plan to show. So lastly, the holocores, and then we are good to go. Yes, so yeah, the thing that I want to show you is this connections. So here I could select the connections for the bottom of the corbels or for the columns, and place custom materials accordingly. I'll just do it for one now because I saved everything else, but let's save this one. That's the only thing that I forgot. And yeah, this is how you can connect it to the ground. You can also draw some linked element as foundations if you have some yeah, that kind of structure. But yeah, now everything is saved. So why not continuing with creating shop drawings? So I have prepared a few here, and yeah, the difference between AutoCAD and Revit impact, of course, is that we are not working as much with the drawing uh, as we do in AutoCAD. So the only work that we put on the drawing is actually drawing work. So yeah, making sure that it looks good, adding a few things or removing a few things. I will show that a little bit later. But we are not like modifying the element in the drawing usually. So yeah, I could have just taken a few columns, but I took all of them. Yeah, so we'll just cancel here and save the SIBs. The other ones can wait, I think. So SIB drawing. So now when let's say that I've saved everything, I created drawings for everything. I have a few elements left, but I have for the columns and for the SIBs at least. Then I can go here to open shop drawing and yeah, either find it here. I can search, so I can search for my SIB, and then I see the drawing because the drawing name that I put is not the same as my element mark. So let's take a look at them. SIB here and open. So yeah, looks like this. I just used one of the sheets that I had, but otherwise you could rearrange the the panels here a little bit so that you can have them bigger. But yeah, it's basically the things that I need. And if I would like to have more sections, I can do that with the add section tool. So let's say that I want to have one here. It should be placed there and should be named B. Reference A here. So this is the reference. And let's say it's going to be 300 and say OK. So I can see the total height and so on. The reason why I don't see the height from here to here is that I probably forgot to add the setting that puts the secondary dimension. And here I also see the yeah, this reinforcement or the strands, I mean. So information about that. That's also up here. This table I didn't put properly yeah, the proper parameters, so it looks a little bit strange, but yeah, this is how you can see the drawing at least. But then let's take a look at a column. So why not taking this one? So I can open it by, yeah, let's say that I don't know it. Okay, now I know it's number 2, but I can just say pick, and we know it or select it like this. So I have 2 sheets here. So let's open those 2. So the first one looks like this. The same here, pretty okay, but yeah, could have done some more settings. But this is how it looks like with some tables of the recesses I added and some cost materials. But then again, also I have this 3D, and you can see that this one is called reinforcement, and we don't have much information about reinforcement here, but that's a little bit on purpose because I wanted to show you a new functionality that we added just in the release that we had last week. So yeah, this one is called details. So what I will do here, I will start with my lifter here, and so let's say lift, and this is fine. I want to tag, and let's say select components. So I will go in here and say that, okay, I want a detail around the lifter. I want it to be placed here. And okay, we cancel because I probably didn't select it properly. Yes, so here it appears. So with this, I can I can do a lot of things. But I can first of all, it's in here shown with the tag L because this is the detail number or name. I show what's in it. I can modify this if I want to change the size, of course. And in here I can also like where I have it, rotate. So yeah, it's like rotating according to this view. But here, yeah, now I forgot to add the tags again, but here I can tag the custom material and the rebar or stirrup. But let's do like this instead. So we say top, maybe we want to have some information about the top or some detail here, and you basically just select the information that you want to have. So let's say these two is what I'm looking for. So from here you can add yeah, templates tags. With this quadrant here, you say where to put the insertion of the label. So we can apply the changes here as well. Don't know why the tags are not really showing up. I think I forgot to load them, but the tags is basically just pointing out what is what and so on. And yeah, this later on, if you want to modify the rotation here, because the rotation is coming from the element itself. We have this locked because of the tagging. So here you can just rotate to have the details as you want it, you lock it, and then you can also make your own tagging and texts and dimensions even. So this is very basic. We will prepare more. Maybe we'll also have some documentation, I think, on the wiki. But this is like a new option on how to make details and how to show how to reinforce different things in the element. So yeah, I hope that was interesting. But let's get back to the elements here. We have been working on this for 35 minutes almost, and we have got the elements. We have reinforced them. We have the basic cost materials. We have some drawings, so we are pretty much done. But we are, yeah, I wanted to show a few bonuses. So first of all, we need to have some drawings for the plans and so on. So I'll just create one for building level 1 for the floor plan. selecting it here. I can do it for the other plans as well, but now I just want to create one for the 3D. So let's say that I do it for the rebar so that we see it like this. And yeah, that's it for this example. So now I go to my print option here and select, yeah, basically I can take one SIB here and yeah, one column, and then I can take both my floor plan and my 3D. So we'll say okay, and what happens now is that we are taking the drawings here from Revit and creating PDFs so that we can use them in Impact in general. So yeah, we're done now. And if we go here to the model, we see that it shows the model according to what we have designed. And we see that we also have some drawings. So if I go to rectangular beams, I cannot open the DVGs because I don't have any, but I can do the PDF. So I have my PDF viewer here, and yeah, the resolution is a little bit strange on my screen. And let's say that I want to go to other. I have my 3D drawing, and yeah, the resolution again. So there it is. I hope that you also see what I see, because yeah, the screen can decide a little bit itself. So and the plan drawing, and of course I could have, let's go here to my plan number 1. Here I could also have tagged the elements first, insert tags. So I see my element marks, and maybe I should have done that, but yeah, now you see it, how it works. And yeah, it's pretty much it. Now in 40 minutes we have gone from an empty project to having, let's see what we have. We have 57 elements. Probably have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different element types, or not types, but definition types. So and we have some drawings for everything, and everything is reinforced. So I think I'm gonna stop here, and we'll see if we have any questions. So until now, what I can see, there are no questions. We'll just give it a minute or so. Otherwise, as usual, I will put up this one again. You have my contact details here, so if you have any questions, just send me an email or yeah, contact me with phone or something, and we'll help you answer the question. But it seems like we won't have any right now, so I will not. Yeah, I will not wait for it anymore. As I said, if you have questions, just let me know. But otherwise, I would also thank you for attending. I enjoyed it, and I hope that you enjoy it as well. It's yeah, it's nice to show you what we can do with Impact for Revit now. So have a nice day, and yeah, until next time.